Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Quick Curio. Have you ever looked out the window at a fresh blanket of snow and wondered, why is it white? I mean, water is clear, right? So shouldn't frozen water, like a single snowflake, also be clear? Well, you're not wrong! A single snowflake is translucent. But when you get millions upon millions of them piled up, something amazing happens. It's all about light. When sunlight hits a pile of snow, it doesn't just pass through. Instead, the light bounces around like a pinball, scattering off the countless tiny ice crystals. Each crystal acts like a little mirror, because snow scatters all the colors of the sunlight. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet equally. Our eyes perceive the combination as pure white. It's the same reason a crushed ice cube looks white while a solid one is clear. So, next time you're enjoying a snowy day, you'll know it's not the snow itself that's white, but the beautiful way it plays with light. Speaking of things that are wonderfully simple yet surprisingly complex, let's talk about a favorite treat. The donut. Why do we call them donuts, or more commonly, donuts? The dough part is pretty obvious. They're made of fried dough, after all. But what about the nut? It's not like they're typically made with nuts! Well, history has a couple of interesting theories. One popular story dates back to the 19th century, when a New England ship captain's mother, Elizabeth Gregory, made deep-fried dough for her son's voyaging. She would put nuts, like walnuts or hazelnuts, in the center of the dough where it might not cook through properly. So, they were literally donuts. Another theory suggests that the original Dutch settlers who brought their Oliko-X or oily cakes to America sometimes shaped them into small balls or knots, which looked like nuts. Over time, the name stuck, even as the shape evolves into the familiar ring we know and love today. From the shape of our food to the shape of our earliest memories or lack thereof. Have you ever tried to remember your first birthday party or learning to walk? Chances are, it's all a blur. This phenomenon is called infantile amnesia, and it's something every single one of us experiences. So, why can't we remember being babies? It's not because nothing was happening. Your baby brain was incredibly busy! The main reason is that the part of our brain responsible for forming long-term narrative memories, the hippocampus, is still very immature in our first few years of life. It's developing rapidly, but it's not yet equipped to store memories in the way an older child or adult can. Also, as babies, we don't have the language skills to create a story or a narrative around our experiences. We can't label things like happy, scared, or hungry in a way that our adult brain can later retrieve. So, while you might not remember it, your baby self was learning and experiencing the world at an incredible pace. Those memories just weren't filed away for later. Now, let's switch from the brain to the skin. You know that feeling? A sudden chill runs down your spine, and a strange, bumpy texture appears on your arms. Goosebumps. Why do we get them? It's a fascinating holdover from our ancient, much hairier ancestors. This reaction, officially called pillow erection, is caused by tiny muscles at the base of each hair follicle contracting. When our ancestors were cold, this muscle contraction would make their hair stand on end. This did two things. First, it trapped a layer of air close to the skin, creating an insulating barrier to help keep them warm. Second, when faced with a threat, puffing up their hair made them appear larger and more intimidating to predators. Think of a scared cat with its fur on end. It's the exact same principle. Today, we don't have enough body hair for it to make any real difference in keeping us warm or scaring anyone off. But the reflex is still hardwired into our nervous system. So, the next time you get goosebumps from a cold breeze or a scary movie, you can thank your ancient relatives for the quirky and now mostly useless biological response. From ancient reflexes to ancient timekeeping. Let's talk about the calendar. Every 4 years, we get an extra day, February 29th. Why do we have these leap years? It all comes down to a slight mismatch between our calendar and the Earth's orbit around the sun. We typically think of a year as being 365 days long, but in reality, it takes the Earth approximately 365.24 days to complete one full trip around the sun. That extra quarter of a day might not seem like much, but it adds up. If we ignored it, after just 4 years, our calendar would be off by a full day. After 100 years, it would be off by almost a month. The seasons would start to drift, and eventually, we'd be celebrating summer in the middle of winter. To fix this, the Romans, specifically Julius Caesar, introduced the concept of a leap year by adding an extra day every 4 years. We effectively press a reset button and keep our calendar in sync with the Earth's journey and the seasons. It's a simple but brilliant solution to a cosmic problem. And speaking of special days on the calendar, what's the deal with April 1st? Why do we celebrate April Fool's Day by playing pranks on each other? The exact origin of this tradition is a bit of a historical mystery, but the most widely accepted theory takes us back to 16th century France. In 1582, France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. This change moved the start of the new year from the end of March, around the spring equinox, to January 1st. However, news traveled slowly back then, and some people either didn't hear about the change or stubbornly refused to accept it. These folks continued to celebrate the new year in late March and early April. They became the butt of jokes and pranks, with people sending them on fool's errands or sticking paper fish on their backs, which was a symbol for a young, easily caught fish, and thus a gullible person. This tradition of pranking on the 1st of April spread throughout Europe and eventually the world, evolving into the day of lighthearted mischief we know today. And there you have it, a few answers to some of life's interesting little questions. I hope you learned something new and had a bit of fun along the way. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep your curiosity firing, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out, and you won't want to miss what we explore next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.